On the show today, taking a look at the top free agents still available on day 4 of NFL free agency, who the 49ers could still target. Before we get started, though, how about these numbers here to my right? We've been able to pick up a lot of subscribers this week. The reaction to all of the content has been phenomenal. We are 444 people away from reaching the Jerry Rice amount of subscribers of 80K here on the 49ers Report. How quickly can we get there? For those of you not familiar with the show, we do videos every single day. News, rumors, analysis, live shows, watch parties. We do it all. So subscribe, lock us in. We will not disappoint you. And with that, let's start today's show. All right, what's up? Welcome in. Happy Thursday. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. Today's show is sponsored by Quessenberry, a brand new sponsor here on the show. You can get 15% off at quessenberry.com/chat. These are height-boosting shoes for some of you who were not given, let's say, George Kittle-like size. 6'4", really agile. For those of you who need a height boost, Quessenberry is where it's at, and they can help you because, fellas, are you tired of feeling insecure about your height? Quessenberry makes shoes that can add up to 2.8 inches to your height discreetly. Women get heels, makeup, and push-up bras. Why can't men get a confidence boost as well? We're all the same height lying down anyway, if you know what I mean. Quessenberry shoes are not only height boosting, but also stylish and comfortable. They're not grandpa's Velcro shoes, though, but fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are integrated into the shoes, making it the ultimate height hack. For a limited time only, Quessenberry is offering our viewers an exclusive discount of 15% off on top of their up to 30% off site-wide discount. All you have to do, use the code CHAT at quessenberry.com/chat to get 45% off. Don't wait any longer. Upgrade your shoe game and confidence now at conzuri.com/chat. When I want to get high, I put on a pair of Quessenberries. The link is available in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. So a lot to get to on today's show. Day 4 of free agency is underway. San Francisco making a couple of signings, bringing a couple of familiar faces back. T.Y. McGill back to the Niners on a 1-year deal, and Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, rotational linebacker, really good special teamer, has also been re-signed by the San Francisco 49ers. As for the remaining needs on this team, you might be able to check off linebacker down here with Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles returning, but still, you need a starting right tackle. You could use another edge rusher, in my opinion. What's going to happen at that kicker position? It's an important one, that can cost you or win you a lot of games. There are not a lot of Robbie Goulds hanging around. He's 29 for 29 in his playoff career. Safety depth, defensive tackle depth. We're going to cover it all here on today's San Francisco 49ers Report. Let's begin with the most pressing need here. The free agent right tackle market. It is somewhat thin. Not a lot of good ones available. Orlando Brown got the bag from the Cincinnati Bengals. Mike McGlinchey left San Francisco for the Denver Broncos. So that leaves us with a pretty skinny list for a bunch of guys who aren't all that skinny. George Fant, Billy Turner, Ja'Wuan James, David Quessenberry, Jermaine Eluemunor, and Germain Ifedi. Some of these guys have more experience than others, like George Fant, Billy Turner, and Ja'Wuan James. Others have kind of been rotational, backup, spot starting right tackles. Here's the problem for San Francisco. In the divisional round against the Dallas Cowboys, their offensive line really struggled. Against the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game, their offensive line was porous. And right now, with McGlinchey gone, you don't have a first-round pick. You don't have a second-round pick. Where are you going to pick up a right tackle? Unfortunately for San Francisco, the right tackle market is as weak as dollar store toilet paper. When you go down to wipe and it just falls apart, or it just doesn't have that soft material and it doesn't feel all that good and it just breaks apart, that's not what you want. And you also don't want a weak spot at that right tackle spot. I told you we have fun here on the show. So what's going to happen? Can the Niners draft a right tackle in the 3rd round? I'm not sure how good those right tackles are going to be at that point because it's a very coveted position. in which a lot of good players are going to be off the board in the first or second round. This is when it becomes interesting, when you factor in a potential Brandon Aiyuk trade. We've talked about this a lot. Multiple teams have hit up the San Francisco 49ers and asked about Brandon Aiyuk. Up to this point, they have not been willing to trade him. But he's entering year 4. He's going to have a 5th-year option exercised, I would imagine, to have 2 more years of team control. But at some point soon, probably after this upcoming season, he's going to want a contract extension. And can you pay him big-time dollars? And from the Niners thinking, if they were to trade away Brandon Aiyuk because they don't think that they can afford him to a team like the New York Giants, you get 25th overall back, and you use right tackle at that draft slot. I would not trade Brandon Aiyuk. I think he's a really special player, a bona fide number 1. But the thinking makes sense because a lot of teams do value right tackle over wide receiver. So do I, because you have to protect the quarterback. All right, Niners offensive line right now. Trent Williams, left tackle. Aaron Banks, left guard. Jake Brendel re-signed. He's your center. I think Spencer Burford will be your right guard. Who's at right tackle? You can't convince me Colton McKivitz is going to be that cat. So grade the Niners offensive line A, B, C, D, or F, C minus or D for me as of right now. To defensive end, get Nick Bosa some help. Last month of the season, regular season playoffs, he didn't have a sack. Wore down a little bit. Still at 18.5 in the regular season. Goes to show you how dominant he was. He can be more dominant if he's not taking on as many double teams. And if he doesn't have to play crazy workloads like he did last year. How do you help him out? You bring in one of these guys. And luckily, unlike the offensive tackle market, which is as cheap as dollar store toilet paper, and if you use dollar store toilet paper, that's cool. You can ball on a budget. I just don't like to. The defensive end market is actually pretty vast and deep. Leonard Floyd, 9 sacks in each of his last 3 seasons. Frank Clarke, 3rd all-time in playoff sacks. Yannick Ngakoue, every year that he's been in the league, all 7 of them, he's had at least 8 sacks per year. Justin Houston, the ageless wonder, continues to produce at a high clip. And Jadeveon Clowney, kind of a bust, don't like his work ethic, don't love his attitude, but when he's engaged, he's a game wrecker. My favorite player among all these, it's Yannick Ngakoue, because the sack production has been steady. Like I said, been in the NFL 7 years, out of Maryland. Each year he's been in the league, at least 8 sacks. Here's a look at what he's done over the last 4. I'm seeing 26 plus 9.5. That's 35.5 sacks. As I pulled off and rattled off that math real quick, 35 sacks over the last 4 years. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Now, if you can't afford him, and I don't understand how his market is dry as of this point because a lot of teams are desperate for edge rusher help, do you go after an older player who's not going to demand that much money? I can't see a scenario in which Justin Houston makes more than, let's say, $4, $5, $6 million per year. Niners can budget that. He had 10 sacks last year, longtime veteran, potential future Hall of Famer. So with that, pick one. Yannick Ngakoue is only 27 years old. Justin Houston, he's up there in age, getting long in the tooth, but still producing. YN for Yannick Ngakoue, JH for Justin Houston. Pick an edge rusher opposite of Nick Bosa. To kicker, because kickers and punters are people too, there is still a window for Robbie Gould to return. He wanted to test out free agency. He is not going to get a Matt Gay type of contract north of $20 million, but his playoff history is pretty impressive. 29-29 in his playoff career on field goal attempts. He's probably the best and most clutch kicker here. He certainly does not have the strongest leg. He's older. Mason Crosby's older. Randy Bullock's been in the league for a minute. Brett Maher, I like him. Good leg, but is he a little bit mentally shaken after missing 4 extra point attempts against the Bucs in the wild card round? Chase McLaughlin still out there, and Eddy Pineiro has been a player who's been linked to San Francisco a bit. The Niners could use a draft slot for a kicker as well. Jake Moody out of Michigan, the popular name in the college football playoff semifinal, drilled a 57-yarder on the big stage against TCU. As for wide receiver, I do not think that the Niners really have a massive need at wide receiver, but there are some good ones still available. Adam Thielen, he wasn't let go because of a lack of production or injuries. He was more of a cap casualty by Minnesota. A couple of really good years throughout his career. The Niners, always going to be linked to Odell Beckham Jr. because they've shown interest in the past, and last Friday, they attended his workout in Arizona. So that tells you all you need to know. I like DJ Chark as a player, but he's been injured a lot over the last couple of years. And Mecole Hardman, you remember him gashing the Niners at Levi Stadium this past year? Probably going to be a little bit too expensive for the Niners. If you want to interact with me on Twitter and Instagram, make sure you hit me up at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both social media platforms. It's been a blast interacting with the Niner gang, and throughout free agency, been putting out a lot of thoughts on those social media pages, and when stuff breaks, I always let you know. Top free agent safeties now. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is certainly the best one, but I don't see how the Niners are going to be able to afford him just because of the limited money that they have at their disposal. So these are guys who you could sign as a depth option. You have Talanoa Hufanga, you have Deshaun Gibson. Who else, though? I don't think you're going to bring back Tarvarius Moore. Are you going to draft the safety in the third round? That's an option. 99, 101, and 102. The current draft selections for San Francisco. John Johnson, pretty solid player. Adrian Amos, Eric Rowe, Rodney McLeod, Keanu Neal, the players available at that safety spot. Then to defensive tackle. The Niners bringing back T.Y. McGill might close the door on them needing another defensive tackle, but I actually think they could use a little bit more depth there. You have Kevin Givens, T.Y. McGill, maybe another player, though. Now, I don't think Ndamukong Suh is going to sign until late in the process, if at all. Same can be said for Linval Joseph if they follow a similar path to last year. Derrick Nnadi, one tech. Solid player. Shelby Harris, Michael Brockers, Quinton Jefferson, all getting up there a little bit in age, but the point here being you can get them on an affordable price tag. Make sure you subscribe to us for the best offseason coverage. We told you about what we do earlier. Let's tell you more about it right now. Free agency buzz, we've been pushing out crazy amounts of content. Prospect analysis, breaking news coverage. This is all our specialty here to my right. It's the San Francisco 49ers Report. All right, Bobby Wagner. He has said in the past he'd love to play with Fred Warner. I don't think that this makes a lot of sense, but of course, it's a pretty fascinating name. This is a guy who was a member of the 2010s All-Decade team, 6-time second-team All-Pro, I believe, 3-time first-team All-Pro, or maybe I have those mixed around. Either way, 9 times an All-Pro in this league. Very, very good. More of an inside linebacker, though. So you already have Dre Greenlaw. You have Fred Warner. You brought back Demetrius Flanagan-Falls. I think they really like Marcelino McCrary-Ball. I don't know how much Bobby Wagner is going to sign for. It's not going to be vet min. I think it could be a little bit more than that. But he said he wants to play with Fred Warner in the past. And Fred Warner, Bobby Wagner for a year, that's Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis vibes. With that, final question. Shout a name out. Which free agent do you want the Niners to sign? Let us know down below. We appreciate all of y'all for watching.